All right, Shalom. I want to start out by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto you. How about Shema Rashah, by Shema Kakodash, double honors to the apostle and elders, great millstone. Shalom to all the Akim out there pushing the word of sincerity and the truth. It's the brother Barzal from the great millstone Atlanta camp. And I just want to, shed a few words on manhood, about personal growth, interpersonal growth, if you will, because that's one of the most important things about this walk. The reason why, we're still currently in this captivity in our lowest estate is because of we have to work on ourselves through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shah. The scriptures speak about if all Israel were of one consent and would turn to the east, then the Most High would send a deliverer. But due to lack of our national connection, us as a people, a lack of just wisdom on the whole, wisdom on the entirety, a lack of knowing how to actually forgive and actually hold ourselves on a unified banner, we're in the worst case scenario. You see Jake in these gutters, these fucking crack houses and these ghettos and these projects, shooting each other down, robbing each other, scamming each other, these women cheating on their men for any apparent reason, just to feel a sense of relief. And everywhere you look on the nation of Israel, the blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, you can see that we're totally vanquished as a people. You see? So, the Lord is working on particular men, those men being the elect. Hopefully we are of that number. But as we see the Lord giving us that leisure and that opportunity to work, we have to take our time and work on ourselves, man. This is about personal growth, like I said, about manhood, and these are certain elements that you learn in the spirit of power, Yahweh Shema Shah, that your fathers, wasn't able to teach you because he didn't have the spirit. Now, like I have a father, and majority of brothers that came in the truth had a father, and they instill into you good principles, certain things, certain elements of manhood. But the full gist of being a man is, your personal walk, and like I said, every day is a learning lesson. And one example of growing up in manhood is forgiveness, man. You got a lot of jakes that hold grudges over the pettiest of shit, and they get that shit from fucking women, man. Whether it's directly or indirectly, that's a effeminate mentality, and that's why Apostle Ricard and the spirit been jumping on elders to rebuke that spirit of just being a full scale nigga, man. You always got some type of beef in your soul. It'd be the littlest, pettiest of matters that you could have made one phone call and hashed things out, but you in that mentality, oh, I ain't calling that nigga. I ain't calling him. And this is talking about brothers in the truth, or your pride. Like Apostle Ricard made that statement of being too beside yourself, And when I was watching those videos from the Apostle, I said that from a personal standpoint. I was like, man, we got to grow up. We got to grow the fuck up. This is ridiculous. The Lord has blessed us with his wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And Jake seems to not be able to still get it. Knowing how to put the past with the past, not holding grudges. The scripture says, love thy brother as I love thyself, which I have. Honor thy mother and father. You got some Jakes that, just be saying the craziest shit about their mothers and fathers, man. My mother's a bitch. Just wild shit. Like, bro, that's why, like I said, this goes into manhood. Some stuff is not to be uttered. Some stuff is not to be said. Some stuff you just have to take with the pockets of life. All right. We understand that this is a captivity, and our family, our mothers and fathers, they fell to the judgment of this world, whether they're locked up or they couldn't take care of you in your adolescence, and you had to probably jump place to place. But still, the manhood comes from understanding to honor them regardless of the situation, and understanding that this isn't, the cusp of this battle, the spiritual battle, it belongs to us to accomplish, man. Lord willing with those men. So I want to jump into some scriptures, Matthew 22 and 38. This, matter of fact, verse 36, I want to go into it with the disciples. All right, Matthew 22:36. Master, which is the great commandment in the law? Yahweh shall said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy power with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like unto it, Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. Yeah, so those are two staples, man. Staple commandments that we ought to keep. Now there are 613 law, statutes, and commandments. You know, it gives you moral guidance. You know, not to covet, not to lust. You know, that's a part of manhood too. Understanding what's not yours and accepting what's not yours, man. You know, not desiring something, because that's a child. A child wants something that he knows doesn't belong to him. And what Jake just want to take. Jake has the opportunity to be a man in labor. It's even written to hate not laborious work, neither husbandry. You know, a man will go out and get it and work for what he wants. But you have a pseudo man, a man with a lack of principles, lack of discipline. Matter of fact, you know, that wants to take rather than work for what he actually can receive. You know, and that's what I said. That's the major problem with us as a so-called community, us as a people. Jake lacks discipline. You know, discipline has to constantly be honed in on. You know, you have to constantly reminisce, so to speak, or meditate upon disciplinary actions and learn how to keep and retain those actions and not fall by the wayside, man. Because Satan is constantly trying to pull you through the flesh. You know, that's why Satan, another term for Satan is what? The tempter. It says in the book of James, when lust hath conceiveth, but the first, prior to the saying that, it speaks about you know, a man being drawn away from his temptations. But it says when lust hath conceiveth, it bringeth forth sin, and sin bringeth forth death. So true manhood is not to fall victim of your lust, because lust is a child. It's childish, man. Like I said, desiring things that you know don't belong to you. Scripture says stolen waters are sweet. Only a child would get off by stealing crackers from the, you know what I'm saying, knowing it doesn't belong to you. You know, stealing drinks and shit like that from the Dollar General when you got the actual means to pay for it. Because a lot of men commit adultery and they got the means to actually get with a single woman. But that's a form of childhood, and it's a mentality where those men haven't grew up on. And that's why the Lord is constantly pegging our thoughts, you know, to grow the fuck up. You know, work on yourself. Get off those damn video games all day, and you know, get out these false sense of realities that don't even feed your spirit, but just enable bullshit. All right. So this is Wisdom of Solomon 6:17. For the very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline, and the care of discipline is love. Yeah, and prayer. Prayer is a part of our manhood. Going to the Lord, man. You know, sometimes even like a child wants to try to do things on their own, knowing that they might need their father and mother. Why do you think you have a father and a mother? They're to guide you. The scripture says that wisdom shall love thee more than thy mother doth. And it says that the Most High is known as a father to the fatherless. So you need your father and mother constantly in your life. That's why the scriptures speak about mothers and fathers actually having a long life. You see? And extending their years, because that's a grace unto you. As I get older and as my father get older, he still cusses me out at times like a child. And I respect it. You know, at certain points he'll still see that I might need to work on, because he's getting older and he's getting more refined in his age, and I'm getting more refined, but he still has, you know, over 20-year gap over me. I'm the youngest, so he has a large gap of years over me. So it's certain things that he sees that I need to work on, but you know, I joke about that in my head. I be like, you know, the older I get, I still get cussed out like I'm a teenager and shit. I still get cussed out like I'm 8 or 9. The older I get, I'm getting cussed out more. But hey, the scriptures speak about how the Lord loveth thee like sons, and the Lord will put that, you know, put the whipping down. And I'm always willing to accept that correction. You know, that's the thing with what's it? Self-criticism. Self-criticism is an important thing to critique yourself. So if you have individuals that you love and believe in, and they believe in you, they're gonna tell you about yourself, man. And that's part of fucking manhood too, man. Knowing how to actually take when your brother is telling you something and knowing how to take it from a good place. You got Jake, they get butt hurt. They don't even want to teach the Bible no more. They don't even want to go to the highways and byways and work out their salvation with fear and trembling no more. They want to go into full-fledged nigga mode because they got a slap on the hand. And it be the ones with the, the most bravado, man. The ones that be the blazing teachers, because you got, certain men that came in the truth that were great teachers. But as soon as they get a slap on the wrist or get a pat on the back of their head, now they ass hurt, I seen a video where dude did a comparison of like 2,000 kids, individuals in the 80s, and it went up to the, he basically ran into a wall and he just took it. The ones in the 90s, they were like, ow. The 2,000 kids hit the wall, rolled over. Yeah, my pussy hurt. Yeah, that's how a lot of Jakes is, man. They get a little chin check and they're grabbing their crotch. Like, what the fuck is that? My pussy hurt. The fuck, man? That's that lack of manhood shit, man. This is a manhood. This is a brotherhood. This is a man family. Of course, brothers have their own family setups, family dynamics, women and children. But what we building, it predominantly starts with men, and then it trickles on down. And love is the keeping of our laws, and the giving heed unto her law is the assurance of incorruption. And incorruption maketh us near unto the Most High. Therefore, the desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom. Yeah, so if you desire wisdom, you have the precious principles to establish something, worth establishing. An empire. This is empire building, man. And when you see the epitome of empires, you have an emperor that rules over provinces, and he sets up, he delegates positions. He sets up individuals to actually walk in certain offices and to retain those offices. So it's the same thing even with the house that we have. This is a major house, and it's multiple rooms, all right, multiple bodies. That's why you have brothers in different camps and regional heads and things of that nature. But it says, if your delight be then in thrones and scepters, or ye kings of the people, honor wisdom that ye may reign forevermore. So it's about honoring that wisdom, and it's a lot more to it, And matter of fact, I may do a follow-up on it. I had to do get a few things covered, but I do want to drive home a couple more principal points on this lesson because, the Spirit is on me. And this is teaching me, a lot of guidance points and like I said, interpersonal growth. So I just want to keep it short right here. And like I said, I'm going to do a follow-up. So hopefully brothers will edify them and end by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Shema, Shah, by Shema, Kakodash, the abundance of the apostle and other great millstone. Shalom, Akim.